Master Obi-Wan Kenobi. I regret to report that both our Jedi Order and the Republic have fallen, with the dark shadow of the Empire rising to take their place. This message is a warning and a reminder for any surviving Jedi. Trust in the Force.
They've outgrown their age of rebellion, dulled the Empire's edge, defeated Imperial generals and the Pirate Queen's dredge. They've been soldiers and scoundrels, what's there left to be? How about lost acolytes looking for their force and destiny? There's a seer, hermit, investigator, and teacher. Better watch your back or a vibro ring's gonna reach you. Will this team find the light or will darkness win the day? Find out with the heroes of the Hydian Way.
Previously on Heroes of the Hydian Way, the four heroes headed into the mansion while the local rebels kept his guardians busy at the front door. They found him waiting in his throne room, flanked by personal guards. Immediately, the clash began. He was better trained and more experienced, but the heroes had some unexpected tricks up their sleeves. Kesh took the front line, while Koba made good use of his skill with the vibro-ring. Skip surprised everyone, perhaps no more than themselves, by using the Force to alter their battleground. Markov was ensnared and enraged, but will this be enough to free Kwolos from his shadow? Find out on this week's episode, Immovable Object.
Welcome to Heroes of the Hydian Way. This is a Star Wars actual play podcast, and we're playing in Fantasy Flight Games' Force and Destiny system. We're using the Chronicles of Gatekeeper adventure as developed by Tim Cox and Max Brook, and this is Act 1, Episode 14. And I'm Ben, the GM for this adventure.
Greetings! I'm Skip Goby, the Kalaran Seeker Hermit, and this is my companion Gudge, the Surfray. We've traveled around for quite some time seeking our place in the galaxy, and I found some really interesting friends. I actually think that they mostly have acknowledged that we're friends by now. And also, we got into dangerous situations, so I think you kind of have to become friends after that. But I even think that Doug, even though, he's really grumpy, tolerates me at this point.
Skip, is this really the time to be answering that Chadra fan's questions? We're in the middle of a fight, not an interview.
Look, my answer changed.
Fine. I'm Kesh. I'm the Trandoshan Mystic Seer, and I'm a little busy right now, so here's Hillary.
Ting.
But we're friends.
Yes, we're all friends here. Except for Markov, not friends with him.
We could be.
Alright,
No.
I'm Hillary. I'm currently being very quiet because the Guardians haven't noticed me yet. I am a consular teacher, and I am most definitely considering myself your friend, Skip.
Oh, I knew that. That wasn't in question.
Well, I don't know why I say these things then. But shh, I'm not here.
And I'm Koba, with Doug, Sentinel Investigator. And look, kid, nothing personal, but you don't want to be my friend. Nothing good ever happens with my friends. It's just a fast route to a lot of pain. And probably tragedy.
To learn more about our heroes, we get one to ask another a question, and it is now Hillary's turn while they're trying to be very, very quiet.
So, Kesh,
Yes.
forgive the potential inferences you might make from this, but you were 100% sure that throne wasn't going to hit me, right?
Of course. I mean, I aimed well above your head.
Ah!
And even with the arc, you were standing right over there.
Well, that's very reassuring. Thank you.
You're welcome. Hey, Skip, I didn't know what I was doing. I've never thrown something like that before. Don't tell Hillary.
Okay. That's what friends are for.
Does Skip do finger guns?
Maybe. No, Skip's hands are full. Skip can't do finger guns. Skip has a giant gun.
Skip has an actual gun, but I mean, is that something that Skip would do?
Skip would, yeah. Yes.
I love Skip so much. All right, set the scene for us, GM.
We are prepared for our doom.
The camera starts off pointing at the slightly raised dais of this throne room. The camera pans down over this slightly raised dais of this throne room. You can see where there had been something bolted to the ground that is been ripped off. The camera swings around slowly. You can see a door to the side and cross Diro circling the entire place, turning and then coming in from the left of the screen. You can see plants and roots and leaves and what the heck is going on here. As it pans over, you can see Kesh, who's a little bit closer, with their staff out. About halfway to the now closed doors is the throne that is sitting with its back portion pointing straight up in the air, with some plants growing out of it. Hillary is pressed up against the closed door, with the bar going across both of the heavy doors, with a group of 4 guardians standing right there as they take in the scene. You've got Markov standing pretty close to them, but not right up against, who is bleeding from a cut in the back of his shoulder from what looks to be a knife that got stuck in there. A little ways away, you can see Skip with their giant air rifle in both hands, and with one hand still kind of up, pointing at Markov. And you can see Koba there, standing with the 5er revolver in their offhand and nothing in their main hand. Markov is standing there in the middle, Kratos' sword out and pointed, ready to slice into the next person that he can think of, with the tip of the sword pointed at Kesh. Or where he thinks Kesh is, because Kesh is kind of behind a lot of this overgrowth. We are in the middle of a combat, the start of the second round. The turn order is, because Markov is a nemesis, gets a second go in a round. I love using that. So we've got a player character, an NPC, a player character, an NPC, 2 player characters, and then Markov's second go.
Alright, who wants first crack at things?
Hillary to run away. I'm absolutely joking.
I am leaning more towards maybe Koba. I think you're more likely to end up staying at range. And also whenever Skip takes their turn is when the vegetation and the concealment goes down. Which I think, if we're thinking about this mechanically, maybe after Markov's other turn.
But yeah, and it also just kind of makes sense that Skip would be kind of still frozen at what just happened.
Yeah.
So we can justify that.
I also will admit Cash is going to do something that's, well, a lot less mechanically likely to work than the last thing I did, so I probably won't be contributing much.
So you're saying I should,
Maybe you should go first.
throw my other Vibrang, the one that's going to miss?
Yep.
Well, let's see. I hear always in motion is the future. Let's find out if that's true.
I mean, you could hit and he could have just dropped it.
I suppose that's...
Yeah, I mean, one is on the floor somewhere.
Actually, yeah. Yeah, actually, now this has to hit him. Because he's no longer got one lodged in him. There's one over on the ground.
Right, and if it misses, then we know we're already in an alternate future.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that might have been... You saw one lodged in him and one on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
We've got the on the ground one already. It's the lodged in him one we
Yeah.
don't have.
Right. So there you go.
So, yeah, you're doing 1 red, 1 purple, and 2 setback.
Yeah, I don't think you're going to talk yourself into a boost from the future, though.
Yeah, alas. I will aim again, so this is another maneuver to draw, maneuver to aim, so I am tired. Koba's sleepy.
Oh.
And a flip a destiny point.
I mean, fair. And sadly, he does not have reflect. Otherwise, that one wouldn't have hit. It would have been...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I figured. You know what? I am going to use clever solution. I do need quick draw, you're right, Christine.
So clever solution is to use a different attribute as your base.
Once per session may make a skill check using cunning rather than usual characteristic.
Okay, fair.
Which only gets me an additional green die because my agility is 3 and my cunning is 4, but I don't really see myself doing anything that I have a really bad pool for this session at this point, so...
Yeah, true. Very true. Very true.
Not going to risk dual wielding, no.
Dang. Come on, that would have been awesome.
I wanna just bank on the crit rating here.
Okay, yeah.
Right.
No, totally.
Because this will be a plus 20 if I get a crit, because it's the one he has plus vicious.
Right, so that means I end up with yellow, green, blue for the aim, red, purple, setback. Ooh, oh, well, okay.
Alright, so Koba whips out his second Vibrorang and throws it right back the way that the one he just dodged came. And this one, with 3 successes and 1 threat, hits Markov a bit more solidly, I presume, but perhaps not in as critical a place. So that's going to end up being 7 damage, Pierce 2.
So 7 damage, Pierce 2.
Yep, and that's it for me. What do you want to do with that 1 threat, Ben?
I am thinking through all of this, you threw a bit harder than you had expected.
Mm-hmm.
And in doing so, this causes you a strain.
All right.
Like, you're getting a bit of a shoulder ache out of it.
Fair enough. Been a long day. I am done.
So Markov is going to use a force ability.
Wait, is he battle meditationing? Using force powers is an action unless otherwise specified.
Spend point to add 1 automatic success to checks up to 4 friendly targets for 1 turn. Like using Darkside, which he is, reduces their willpower by 1. Yeah, he is battle meditationing. So that, plus he's got the second active, what he's going to do is yell out to get them, do the battle meditation, giving his guardians a automatic success. He is then going to use his maneuver to grab extra cover, essentially drop to his knees, so that it is harder to see him. Which means it is now a PC's turn.
Christine? Did you
Yes.
still want to do your slightly risky thing before my cover drops?
So here's the thing. My slightly risky thing will actually be easier for me to do. Well, okay. The better risky thing is better for me to do when the vegetation is gone. The really just not going to work thing is the thing I could do now. So it really comes down to, do we want me to try to shoot him, or do we want me to try to whack him with a stick?
Whatever you want to do, that's the most fun for you and makes the most sense for Kesh to do.
Okay, then I think I'd like you to go first. And if you fail to take him out, then I'll jump in and be rash.
Okay. So Skip will, after all of this stuff has been going on around them, will kind of snap out of it and lower their arms and kind of shake their head a little bit. And when that happens, it all kind of falls back. I suppose like the leaves probably all like shrivel and stuff. I'm going to back up far enough away from Markov that I don't think that he could stab me again particularly quickly, and attempt to shoot him with my tranq gun.
So that'll put you at medium range, which, yes, this place is big enough to do medium range too.
Yeah, I yeah. And I know that there are other guys in the room, but...
Yeah, Markov's already taken some skin off you.
Yeah, he stabbed. So, right. Shooty shoot. And what is my difficulty for shooting Markov?
I'm going with it's crumbling, so I'm going to remove one of the setbacks from him.
Mm-hmm.
So it'll be 1 red, 1 purple and 2 setbacks.
I maneuvered to move, so I can't aim. Okay, so what I got is yellow, yellow, green, red, purple, step by step. Kaboo! Ooh, ouch. I got a failure and advantage.
Okay.
I think that definitely Skip is still a little disoriented about what happened. For sure. But I'll happily take one of those strain back that I used to do my Space Wizard stuff.
That sounds like a pretty cool idea.
I'm still just getting reoriented because that was all really weird. So
I'm figuring that, like, the trank dart lands in one of these withering pieces of vegetation just in front of Markov's head, busy at taking cover behind it, then clatters to the floor as it finishes sort of turning into withered roots.
Okay, yeah. Makes sense.
Then that brings us to the Guardians, who are looking ahead. They see a Kesh, who's relatively close. They see a Koba, who's relatively close. They see a Kelleran, who has a long rifle, but is further away. And the Doug has a revolver out. So they are... it just makes more sense for them to charge in and try and stab Koba.
Works for me.
So yeah, they're taking their one maneuver to get in close to Koba and then trying to stab him with Giro.
Alright, so this is a minion group of 4. Is that correct?
Yes, it is a minion group of 4.
I will go ahead and risk using my sense here. It's once per round, so if Markov attacks me, I'm just going to have to live with it. But
so this is M. 4-person is 3 upgrades on 2. It would have been better for them to shoot, but less thematic. So yeah, they're rushing in, trying to hurt on Koba. I don't really feel that my guys are going... I don't really feel that the guards are going to use a dark side point.
I am not going to put a point either.
Right.
I'm just going to be happy with the 1 upgrade from sense.
And there is no concealment anymore, so they get 4 hits with 2
Oh dear.
a threat.
Oh dear.
So they do a grand total of 7 damage.
This is going to sound weird, but I hope it's real wounds.
Yes, it is
Oh,
wounds.
whew. At least they're trying to kill me.
On account of you're still up.
What a day we're having when those are the words uttered.
Yeah, no, if this was stun damage, I would be unconscious. Heavily unconscious. Okay, so 7 damage you said?
Yes, 7 wounds.
Alright, I soak 3 of it and take 4, which hurts, because I already had some wounds coming into this.
That fallen damage, it gets you every time.
So that brings us to 2 PCs. Alright, and we do have 2 threat. So, like, if Koba wanted to move or something, like, out of engaged.
Oh. Yeah, I suppose I will. He'll launch off of his hands and leap backwards.
So that does bring us to Kesh and Hillary.
You got a cunning plan, Hillary, or should I?
Well, you won't like my plan.
It involves talking, doesn't it?
It does involve talking.
Does it involve talking to Markov?
It does involve talking to Markov.
Okay, I don't like it.
I mean, I said you weren't gonna.
So, do you want to do that first, or do you want me to try to hit him with the metal stick?
I think maybe I should go first, considering if you stab him horribly, it might work against my conversation.
I mean, it's not like he hasn't been stabbed horribly twice so far.
Yeah.
I feel like it might be a little different with Trandoshan all up in your face.
Yeah, I think you're vastly overestimating my combat potential here. I think I'm the second weakest combat person after you.
Well, I'm a Lord High Lord. I have other people to do my dirty work. Thank you very much. I don't need to be combat.
All right, well, go ahead. Say your words, and then I'll hit him with the stick anyway.
So we're in this room. We're all kind of clumped at one end. Markov is kneeling in the middle. Koba just got the tar beaten out of him with a couple of pointy sledgehammers. Kesh is where?
I was figuring Kesh is close to being in line from where the throne had been rooted up and where Markov currently is.
Okay, and then Skip is off to one side. From where he is against the door, I'm still, within short range, right?
Yes, you are within short range of Markov.
So, Hillary, to no one's surprise, starts talking. But perhaps to other people's surprise, he starts talking in not maybe the voice you would expect in the middle of a battle. His first name is Gel?
Gel.
It doesn't have to be this way. Markov, he did not abandon you, he died. You're hurting. You don't have to hurt alone. You don't have to take control to make up for all of this madness that you are thrust into. You can walk away and let them find their own balance, and you can find yours. You can breathe easy if you just let yourself. It doesn't have to end in death. Can I aim my impassioned speech?
That doesn't...
I'm kidding.
I mean, I'm tempted. I'm really tempted, but I'm going on no.
I think that's a completely legitimate and fair comment. and ruling. So what is my role?
This really does feel like it would be going up against his discipline.
Yeah, that's probably crap, but I'm going to do it.
Yeah, and I'm feeling that his hackles are up enough that I should be using a dark side point on this. Which means that you're going up against 3 red and a purple.
I love y'all. I'm using one of those points. And actually, I would like to make a case for a boost and do something really stupid. I am going to hands up, hands empty, walk toward him, making eye contact.
Okay, I'll give you the boost for it.
Okay.
If he starts muttering about not being sure that he has the strength to do what needs to be done, run away, please.
Well, I'm not his father. I'm just a father. So we'll see. So you said 3 red?
3 red and a purple.
So that's 3 yellow and a green and a boost. There's nothing else I could have done or would have done. I will live with this result. Or perhaps not.
Or not, yeah. Okay.
All right, that's interesting.
Yeah, what did you get?
Well, I succeeded.
Sure did.
I got 3 success, a threat, and a despair.
All right.
So I somehow, somewhere, I make a connection. And he knows that I mean what I'm saying. He knows that I want him to make a better choice. And that there is a better way. I am, however, probably now engaged with him. And I have a threat and a despair.
And someone was off giving me ideas. Uh-huh. The threat seems reasonable, that this whole thing causing several beads of sweat to slip off of you.
Strain?
Yeah, 1 strain.
Yeah, no, yeah.
You're talking him down, you're definitely making a connection to him. I don't know that this, considering how far gone he is into this, I don't think, it just doesn't feel right that this is the one thing that's able to completely take him out of the fight. But it does put him absolutely, completely off center. And this actually does essentially open up the possibility of him surrendering. You're saying that, and I'm thinking that it goes from him being at a full rage to him now being an entire pit of fear. Fear at having wasted all this time. This fear at having ruined these people. He's not completely oblivious to all the stuff that's been going on. He's just been figuring that this has been going on for the Sathari's own good. It's like, no, it can't be. I've wasted everything. with the despair, he's sort of in that very classic sword bearer kneeling pose. One knee down, one knee up, almost as if they're praying with the tip of the sword down on the wooded ground. It's wood, so it's not like it's going to mess up the tip. It's a sword. No one really tries to stab with these things. He's like that. I do want to get what Kesh is going to do, because he hasn't given up yet. Hillary's in close to him. He's needing to breathe and sort of collect himself into doing any sort of action right now. I am sort of keeping the despair alive while Kesh is doing their thing.
Okay, I would like, as the last thing I do on my turn, just, he stops looking at me. He's looking down at the ground, just having this emotional vomit rage inside him. And since he's not looking at me anymore, I put my hand down, like to offer my hand to him so that he can see it.
Okay. And then what does Kesh do?
Okay. Whew. Okay, I know what she'd do, and I, Christine, am sorry to Leslie. Kesh is not sorry to High Lord Hillary.
No, she probably thinks he's an idiot right now.
We might have some words about this afterwards, and I think it's going to be you mad at me rather than the other way around.
Yeah, probably.
Okay, we're about to demonstrate why Hillary's morality is going up and why Kesh's is going down, I think. Different perspectives and beliefs as Kesh is going to use a maneuver to close to engage with Markov.
Okay.
And as he is, knelt, looking contemplative, that anger leaving him, Hillary offering his hand out, Kesh leans in at first and says to him, "Don't go out like this. You can still die a warrior. Don't let your fear control you."
Oh, you are in so much trouble.
My gosh.
You are in so much
This is
trouble.
the best thing I've ever heard.
Holy crap.
Oh.
And then Kesh is going to take her staff in her hands, say, "I won't let you go out like this." And she's going to swing at him to see if she can get him to defend himself.
All right.
Like, I, Christine, am shaking over here having just done that.
Fair. Very fair.
Yeah.
I would like to vote that my despair becomes her upgrade, but
I don't know how many conflict I would give you for that.
I'm so
Yeah.
impressed.
I would really like to actually just flip a dark side at you. But that's not
Well,
my power.
it's one of those things of like, I fully accept. Like, we're going to have the conversation at some point. What happens when Kesh falls? And does Christine need a new character for this season? I will happily accept
I mean,
that.
I'm going to kill you. That's what's going to happen.
Okay, that's legit.
Hence the reason for needing a new character.
Okay, I'm going to flip a light side point because technically still my points right now, too.
Yeah, fair.
Okay, what's my difficulty to attack a prone Markov?
Well, he's not exactly prone. I'll give you the boost for it.
Okay.
I am so mad at you right now.
I know, I told you, I'm so sorry.
I want to give you a hug and slap you.
I
at the
Christine,
same
feel
time.
so bad. Kesh
Oh my
doesn't feel
God.
bad at all.
So it's
I
going to be a
know.
red, a purple, and a setback. And you get a boost because he's down like that.
Okay, I'm going to take a second boost as I'm going to line up my shot. I'm going to aim.
Eating those two straight.
Yep. I haven't taken any yet so far. I'm looking at a yellow, green, boost, red, purple setback.
Ooh.
I don't get him to defend himself because apparently I whack him pretty good because he no failures came up on the difficulty dice. So that is going to be a grand total of 10 damage, and it is lethal damage as Kesh brings the staff and cracking down on him.
Can I mitigate that damage some way?
Oh.
I mean, Hillary has heal harm, right?
Sorry, I'm rereading. Now I get to use the last of his, technically I think this is talents. He is going to suffer 3 strain. Because he does have the parry talent.
Okay, so he is going to like whirl around and defend himself.
I was doing the math on it, and it isn't parry one that he has. There's Kesh bringing down this clawed end of the staff, looking to line up almost perfectly with to jam the vibro blade that is still in Markov's shoulder in deeper.
Hmm.
What he does in one spectacular maneuver is, because he's already got a sword out in not exactly a defensive move, but he's able to, with it, repose it and up, take the sword in both hands, and is able to get just enough of the sword under the staff to deflect it and hit the actual shoulder pauldron and not the vibroblade, causing, as he's taking those 3 strain, which allows him to mitigate 5 damage, because he's got parry 3, which is essentially trading wounds for strain, at least at the low end. With that and his Soka 5, he is able to deflect the damage enough so that he doesn't actually take any.
Dag.
Okay. I'm just going to further dig my hole. As my staff and his sword are connected, Kesh is going to say, "Good. Now stand up and fight." And that's how I'm going to end my turn.
Well, the good news is, Leslie, you probably don't have to figure out what Hillary's going to say to Kesh after this is over, because Kesh is going to be dead.
Well, Kesh has enough.
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
Guess whose turn it is?
In the clawed end of Kesh's staff is the sword of Markov. What Markov's going to do is, they had both of their hands up in a classic pose. They're going to change one of their hands so that it's upside down and try and flip it under and stab Kesh,
Okay.
since Kesh seems to be the one who's attacking him.
All right. I've got 1 melee defense. I've got nothing else going on, though.
Yeah, well, he's got a vibral ring to the back.
Yeah, and I'm not going to bother to flip. I will accept my punishment.
So mad.
I'm going to use it.
I just can hear Palpatine laughing in the background.
Okay.
Good.
All right, let's try this.
Could have been worse.
Okay.
So using 3 yellow, 1 green, and 3 purple, 1 setback, he gets 2 success, doing a total of 7 damage, and has 2 threat.
Okay. Any pierce I got to worry about there?
No.
Okay. Then
Certainly would hope so.
Cash soaks 4 of the wounds and only takes 3. She still looks pretty okay.
So it was 7 wound?
7 damage, which I've reduced down to 3.
Well, 7 damage, 3 wound. Okay, well that was a thing.
For the 2 threat, I want to impose a setback die on Markov, as even though he's starting to fight now, he's a bit rattled, both between the wounds and the confusing words, and people trying to take him out don't seem to be quite on the same page on how to handle the situation. It's very confusing and unnerving.
That is quite fair. When he did that, it was just with this bellowed, trying to get the sword in under, and is able to nick the side of Kesh, which then brings us to the top of the 3rd round, and you can hear banging on the door. And you can also start hearing lots of people out there.
Is my despair still banked?
No?
That's fine. I was just wondering if I needed to keep that in my head.
Nope.
Okay. New round.
Okay, so we do have a player at the start.
I mean, I can try killing him again. I don't know what we do in this case. How do you want to handle this, folks?
I mean, what do you want to do? Do you want to try to hit him back?
Cash's goal is definitely to kill him. I'm gathering that Hillary's is not.
No.
I don't know where Koba and Skip stand on this whole situation.
Leslie, is this something Hillary would react to immediately?
I would think so. But whether he's faster than Kesh, I don't know. Well, I mean, I technically know my agility is better than Kesh. But
Or is this a matter of vigilance, though, if we're talking about mechanics?
that's true.
Yeah.
I don't know. Leslie, given I don't think, Christine, don't think Cash is the one on the right here, in spite of being her player, I will throw this over to you and let you decide who should go first. What fits better narratively or for the characters.
I legitimately, if I have the turn, am going to get in between the two of you.
You can give it a shot.
Mm-hmm.
I think that tells a better story than just me whacking him again immediately.
All
right. So you're up.
Hillary sees this turn of events, quite literally, and he's almost knocked back on one foot. Like, he kind of reels back very, very slightly, not in a way that takes a maneuver. But he's knocked back, and he just shakes his head. And he says, No. Your ways are not everyone's ways. It does not have to be like this. He can have a life after this. He does not need to die a warrior for the wrong reasons. This is foolishness. And he
Harm targeting Kesh.
gets in between them, trying to push their weapons apart. Which is ridiculous, because he's teeny tiny. But, dadgummit, he's gonna try.
Hillary, get out of the way.
Kesh, get your head out of your backside. There are ways that are not yours. There are points to be earned, even within yours, without dying here.
This isn't about my points. It's about his.
I will not let you kill this man while he still has a future.
Markov's just standing there like, should I go?
Well, he is the one who's gotten through to him, is standing between him and Cash. If we're using that initiative slot to deal with the Hillary Cash thing, I'm thinking that Markov is still somewhat just pure reactive, that it was his fighting training that got him to parry. So I'm thinking that he would not go and we just deal with the Guardians attacking.
Fair enough. He's letting the situation kind of go where it would. All right.
Yeah. I'm also sort of thinking that his head is just, like, paused. He's pretty much not thinking. Like, right now, everything's collapsing around him. He is thinking that everything is gone. There's someone giving him hope that, yeah, maybe this could be. And he's heard someone else saying to go out like a warrior, that everything is ending. And he is just locked in that. And he can't see his way out of that. That he'll react to things, but he's not entirely going to act, at least at the moment. I mean, that is the least I could do for a 3 success on what Hillary had done. So I'm figuring that at least for the first NPC slot, we'd be dealing with the Guardians attacking Koba.
That works for me.
Yep.
Okay, should I roll, like, anything? Just a strength to be obnoxious and get in the way, or...
I don't know that it's really needed.
Oh, what I might say maybe for the moment is like maybe right now, essentially, because neither of us want to hurt you, you are enough of an obstacle. We are technically not engaged at the moment.
Ooh, I like that.
Where you are engaged with both of us, we're not engaged with one another, so we at least need to use a maneuver to get around you or do something else as you are imposing yourself, basically, and we're both kind of reacting to that.
Yeah.
The only other thing I would ask for is an appeal to Kesh, but it's going to be versus discipline, and Kesh's discipline is going to trump mine like you wouldn't believe.
So this is one of those things where we're... For the most part, we've seen a very restrained Kesh and a lot of her actions and things like that. This is a very core belief. It's not that it can't be changed, but I don't know that you're going to get through to her in a few seconds during combat. It might be more one of those things of, we might have it out. There might be a lot of berating afterwards, or maybe you get through to her in some capacity. I don't know that I would... Is that okay? Is that bad? Should I allow the social check? Like, I just feel like that would...
No, I think that's legit.
I don't think this would be easy for her to stop.
Yeah.
That's fine, Christine. I'm okay with having just broken the engagement to make it more of a conscious action rather than a reflexive action to attack again.
Because I also think in terms of that, like, impassioned plea might also pop up more if something occurs where where Markov is down and Kesh does go for the execution, I feel like during that moment you probably could get through to her, but he's still up and fighting right now. Okay, I've said my.
All right.
All right, kill Koba.
Yeah, come at me.
Don't kill Koba. Horribly maim.
I mean, a Doug with a cyber limb would be pretty much the coolest thing ever.
Okay, so they're just meleeing. Koba can upgrade, right?
Yes, I get that once per round.
Okay.
And I will use it because if they hit me, there's a very good chance that they down me.
Yep. They do hit. Like, it's rolling 2 yellows, green versus a red and a purple, getting 1 success, 1 advantage, and doing a total of 4.
4? Oh man, they didn't down me.
Duro, melee, damage 3. Yes.
Yeah, because they rolled really good the last time.
Yeah, they got like 3 or 4.
1 wound gets through, so Koba still gets some sort of relatively superficial cut or something. He's definitely looking pretty worse for wear.
Authentic battle damage.
So this is what, the 2x strike on the old He-Man?
Yep.
For 1 advantage, yeah, I can't really think of anything off the top of my head.
I mean, they can throw a boost to Markov.
Yeah, they'll give a boost to Markov in their movements and whatnot. Somewhat in their battle cries, like, ah! It'll get Markov more into his training mindset.
Koba curses loudly, which attracts briefly the attention of all the PCs to be like, oh, Koba might be dying.
And then that brings us to a PC slot. And
It's probably me to resolve the Markov situation before his turn.
that would make some sense.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, that definitely makes sense.
If you're willing to use a force power on him, such as move, I would figure that he is not mentally capable of resisting it.
Okay. For my next horrible question. So when you were describing this throne room, it's a sealed chamber, right? There's no windows?
Correct.
Okay.
Nice try, though.
There's a skylight that comes in, but the skylight goes up to the chambers.
I'm not throwing him that high. Just trying to give him the Palpatine Mace Windu treatment.
I mean, you've already been, defeated by a simple window before.
The Mace Window treatment?
Defenestration? Darth Fenestration?
Kesh looks down at Hillary. Her eyes soften for a moment. We see her relax a little. I'm sorry. And then she's going to throw out her hand and try to hurl Markov with as much force from her gift as she can muster into the wall.
I mean, you just have to move 1 silhouette 1 to short range.
Okay, so am I bothering to roll the discipline on this or just roll the force?
Roll the discipline.
Okay. What's my difficulty?
It'd be 1 red, 1 setback.
Okay.
Since you are sort of hurling something at Markov.
Okay.
Or I'm using the Markov difficulty.
I am going to double aim. Since we determined I could aim on this before.
Yeah. As we are using the actual Billy principle.
Okay. So it's 2 force dice, 2 yellows, 2 greens, 2 boosts, a red, and a setback. 1 success, 5 advantages, and very, very appropriately 2 dark side pips, of which she would do this. And I will take both conflict, both strain.
All right.
So if I were throwing a silhouette 1 object, that would be, of course, 10 damage. Well, 11 damage, I guess, with the success.
Okay, so you throw Markov across the room.
Throwing him into a wall. I don't think he can parry a wall.
No, you can't parry a wall.
Can you parry yourself off of a wall?
I would be very impressed if he did, so...
The question I've got is, Koba's engaged with these Guardians. What's Skip going to do? Because Skip would still be at medium range to him. He's now out of engage with anyone, so it'd be the prime sniper time to shoot him.
I know. Skip is just kind of looking back and forth from Hillary to Kesh to Markov and realizing that, hey, maybe if they can knock him out, That gives us some time to continue this arguing thing, which is all very confusing. Just gonna maybe try to shoot him my way. It'll be fine, right? Guys, we're all still friends. Oh, yellow, green.
It would. The
Yeah.
difficulty on this is going to be 1 red, 1 purple, 1 setback.
Okay, I want to flip, cause I want to. So, fight me. Gonna do it. Not even gonna ask permission, cause you're all fighting.
You tell them, Ren. You
You're
flip that
fighting
point.
too!
Why can't we all get along?
And you know what? Skip's gonna aim. Boom.
This is Skip's protagonist awakening.
No.
That's a good thing, because I think another character is falling.
Ha! Ha! Ha 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 ha. I got 3 successes, 2 threat, who cares? I'll deal with it, and a freaking triumph! Sorry, that was probably real loud.
Not really, or at least not to me.
You're a hero.
Okay.
In the Heidian way?
Now I do my math. Okay. Right. So we've got my fancy gun, which is Pierce 4 and stun and 6 damage, so it's 9 damage. That is hopefully knock you unconscious kind of damage. And I don't remember what a triumph does on an attack. I don't know that I've ever got one.
Well, the easiest thing is that it can crit, but you don't crit.
I don't want to crit, and I don't think I can. Yeah, no, I don't even have a crit rating on my weapon. Like, it just doesn't exist.
Before we use a triumph, there's a second part of you shooting. You have a poison, don't you?
Oh, you mean the smart trank?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yes, I do.
So that was 9 Pierce 4, so...
Mm-hmm.
9 Pierce 4?
Yep.
I forget how scary this weapon is. Is that a resilience roll?
Yes.
Yes.
What's the difficulty of the resilience roll?
Brandon?
I think it's hard, but I don't remember for sure.
I can't remember if it was hard or 4.
I am 99% sure it is not higher than 3. Because the effect is pretty nasty.
Okay.
Huh. Actually, I think it might be a 2 purple.
Oh.
So it'd be 2 greens going up against 2 purple, if I'm reading this correctly. So, let's see.
Ooh.
So, they failed that roll.
What does that mean? Okay. So,
They get another 5.
do I knock Markov unconscious? Is that what happens?
Okay, here is the thing. For the triumph, what I'm thinking is that we transpose what would be normally wounds from him getting flung up against the wall to strain, and thusly straining him out. Otherwise, believe it or not, he'd still be up.
I mean, I'm technically okay with him still being up too, but...
It just feels so fitting that him getting smashed up against a wall and then getting shot with the smart trank and failing that roll of it injecting him and him crumpling to the ground would be fitting.
I'm very happy with him crumpling to the ground.
Yeah. Now we can have that talk, Hillary. I mean, assuming Koba's not like dead in the corner.
Yeah, I'm sort of figuring that he's thrown up against the wall. It isn't bind, so he isn't staying there. He's staggering back from the wall. The dart picks him and lands in the neck of his armor, and he picks it up from there and just sort of looks at it woozingly, then falls forward onto his face, barely catching it himself so that he doesn't break things.
Skip is gonna holler out. And we're gonna talk about this.
Yes, we are.
Great shot, kid. That was 1 in a million.
All right, what do y'all want to do with the Guardians?
Do they seem like they're going to still fight?
At least until that it's pointed out to them that Markov's not fighting.
Yeah, if we're exiting structured time.
Yeah, we can exit structured time at this point.
I see, like Kesh takes a step towards Markov, and Hillary immediately is, backing her way again.
Heck yeah.
And she looks down at him. And as I continue to apparently copy lines from Revenge of the Sith unintentionally, but then realizing I am, he's too dangerous to leave alive.
No,
You've seen what he's done to this place, Hillary.
he is too dangerous to leave here.
Where are we going to take him?
I don't know. Death does not have to be the answer.
Death is a perfectly acceptable answer.
It is, but it is not always the right one. Just like your way is not always the right way.
Where are you going to take him? Where? He can't
You know what?
come
If
with
I have to
us.
leave and take him with me, I will.
We can take him with us. We can tie him up. We can bring him to our ship, and then we can make his friend in the box talk to him. And, clearly he's sad. And
Guys, I'm being murdered over here.
oh,
No,
whoops.
sorry, carry on.
And Hillary, what are you going to do when it's not so easy to give him a change of heart? Are you going to keep him imprisoned for years? You're going to be his warden?
If I have to, maybe I will. But you're not murdering him, if as much for your sake as for his. Because I don't care what you say. Killing an unconscious man? That's pretty low.
Do you think he would be the first?
No. Do you think I'm so ignorant that I don't know what you've done? Do you think that means I cannot hope for your future? Go help Koba.
As you all are very fond of reminding me, I am quite old and don't have much of a future.
I'd like to point out that that's not me. Especially since I feel like I might either be the same age or possibly older than you.
You're younger than me.
Okay.
Yeah, we already
Okay,
established
'cause
this, like, you're younger than
Yes, you're like 40s or 50s and Cash is 60s.
Okay, so I am legitimately younger than you.
Yeah,
But,
not by a lot, though. We're definitely a lot closer in age.
Kesh, when you are dropped to 0 from your scorekeeper, is that the end?
No, you can start again.
Thank you. Will you please go help Koba?
I mean, if the guys will go away, if I just kind of like point my gun at them and shoo, that's also fine.
Also, when Koba said, "Guys, I'm getting killed over here," Skip would have trained their gun on one of the other guys too. Hopefully, as like a threatening-ish motion.
I mean, that also works. Like, I'm figuring that this is the perfect time for the battle outside to have essentially become successful.
Woo!
You get the classic battering ram of they're not waiting around to hew a proper battering ram. They've found a statue, and they're trying to come in through the door. You hear Pathrun say, "Markov, we're coming in. Your time is over. It is the will of the people." And smash, smash, smash. In between all of that. To finally a crack. At which point the Guardians who are there turn around and drop their Dero. And you've got a fairly bloody Doug there. I think Hillary's the only one who isn't actually bloody.
I'm the only one who's actually untouched.
Yeah, potato.
Well, physically. Emotionally, I'm a little wounded.
Okay,
Cash.
so the Guardians are dealt with. Markov's unconscious. As they come in, you see Pathrun and Eliza with part of Pathrun's honor guard. "Oh, I see that you have been able to deal with him." Walks over, kicks him, and you hear a very guttural as Markov rolls over onto his back, the sword clattering away as Pathrun kicks it. "You were much more merciful than I would have been. But this will be for the best."
Would you have us leave him to face charges, or would you have us take him, that you do not need to begin on such a dark note?
If we do not take him and have him stand trial for what he has done, we will start in a far darker place.
Then I will stand with him.
If he can stand and answer for what he's done.
I will stand until his sentence is pronounced.
Yes, is right. And they'll bind, like, even as he is, they'll bind him and start walking him off to a cell.
Kesh looks disgusted throughout all these proceedings and visibly winces when they put the binders on Markov and start to walk him away. Once he's gone, she's going to start walking off herself, just back the way she came, just trying to pick a different direction from where they're taking him, without a word to the others, especially Hillary.
Skip is going to look at Koba and do kind of like a head tilt in Kesh's direction to figure out if Koba's going to follow her or if Skip should.
I'll take care of her. Koba, I guess he's probably not hurt enough to limp, but Koba follows after Kesh, although not, too terribly quickly. Probably picks up the vibro ring that Markov threw back at him on his way out.
Do you reclaim the vibro ring that I think is still in Markov?
I assume I'll get it back later.
Wait. Let me get that before he goes.
I mean, it might have fallen out when, he hit a wall.
I mean, I imagine I'll be able to find Markov later.
Or those holding Markov.
Right. Be like, so I need to look through Markov's belongings. There was a vibro ring he liked keeping embedded in his shoulder. Is that in a locker somewhere?
Hillary will follow Markov.
Then where is Skip ending up?
Skip looks after Hillary and then looks around. Is everyone just kind of dispersing at this point? Like Koba took off after Kesh, everyone is taking off with Markov, and Skip is just in this throne room by themselves?
Sounds like.
I like it.
I think Koba assumed that Skip was essentially asking who wants which other party member.
Yes, but Skip doesn't have to go to Hillary immediately.
That's fair.
It's true.
Skip's gonna walk over to the area of the wall where they had sprung a bunch of wood out of, and just kind of touch it briefly and look around. There's just sort of like a long pause. Is there anything that looks particularly valuable in this room or interesting?
There's a throne.
Small objects that look interesting or valuable.
In here, this is also a relatively functional throne room, at least to my consumption of a throne room. It's a place for doing meetings. There's nothing really there beyond what's stuck to the walls, if there's any seating there, and usually there's not, and the throne for the one person who's actually going to be sitting around there for a while. In the actual throne room, not much. There's in Markov's bedroom, yes, there's definitely.
Yeah, definitely going to go to Markov's bedroom and
raid.
So Skip has two goals. Skip wants to find the thing that they've been looking for.
Yeah, it's going to be closer to the vibro ring.
Oh. Fair enough.
Not that you know that.
So Skip's goals are to find the thing, one of the things that they've been looking for. Also, to find something interesting to stick in Skip's backpack.
Does Skip just take souvenirs?
Yes.
I love it. I love Skip.
Yeah.
Like an interesting looking tool. It doesn't even have to be valuable, just something small that will fit in Skip's backpack that looks like something that could be useful someday. Look, I don't often get left alone in this game, so.
Fair enough. Actually, what you're able to find in Markov's suite, you can find a couple trinkets from Ariadu. Seem to be from about 20 years ago. You can see a small hollow. You can see the base of a hollow, and as you touch it, pops up with a very young, teenage Markov and Ward, who you recognize from the holocron. Otherwise, you see a few personal things like that, and you do also see off in a corner a fairly base mannequin, a headless mannequin, legless mannequin of traveler's robes that look to be what he was wearing in the hollow from when he was a kid.
Oh, okay, hold on, I'm gonna... Skip's gonna steal those clothes.
Alright.
Did you just say you're stealing his clothes?
It's on a mannequin. He's not wearing them anymore.
Okay.
I take the hollow, I stick it in the backpack, I take the clothes, I ball them up, and I stick them in the backpack, and then I run off in the direction that Hillary went, and in my way back through the room, I'll pick up Koba's bloody vibra ring.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Heroes of the Hydian Way. You can find show updates on Twitter at The Hydian Way, and you can find me, Ben, on Twitter at Deuterium Ice.
Hi there, I'm Ren. You can find me at Atomic Firebird on Twitter or at Fast Times Info. Also on
Fast
Twitter.
Times Info?
No, that's
Yeah.
not right. Whoops.
Yeah, well,
Sorry.
Yeah. I was like, wait, you changed the Fast Times one?
No, I didn't. Okay,
Okay.
hold on. Hi, I'm Ren. And you can find me at Atomic Firebird on Twitter or Make Believe Info on Twitter for my Twitch and RPG community updates.
You can find me, Christine, on Twitter at 12th Night. That's 12th and Night with a K.
You can hold on. Swoop bike. Okay. You can find me, Leslet, at LesletGS, not talking to Kesh.
I'm sorry.
Not talking.
You're still talking to Christine, though,
to
right?
Kesh. I
I'm
still
okay.
love Christine. I might still
Okay,
have to
good.
slap her when I see her, but
Who
That
knows
is
when that's
fair.
going to happen? I mean, we're in the middle of a pandemic, and it's not going anywhere anytime soon.
I was giggling because you said that you're Leslet.
I did, didn't I?
It
Yep.
was wonderful.
So it goes.
And I'm Brandon on Twitter at Blue of the Ken, and also on Twitter at Endeavor Show for the Star Trek actual play I have with Christine also.
It's
Where
awesome.
I am not evil.
Yes, I mean, you do give me a lot
Impulsive.
of threat. Just all the time.
You
Look,
really
I'm very
do.
I'm very destructive but lovable there. It's Kai is a little bit like Cav that way. Definitely not like Kesh.
You're right.
So like a puppy.
Yeah.
Gets into everything, but just so darn cute.
Yeah, so very Cav.
Sure.
There's definitely some Cav energy with
I don't know, do you
Kai.
still have pie on you?
Yeah, that might have been on purpose.
We are all at thehydianway.com, where you can find previous episodes.
You can find more of those aforementioned previous episodes on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Google Podcasts. Plus, you can really help us out by rating, reviewing, and subscribing.
You can help Leslie yell at Christine on Facebook as Heroes of the Hydian Way. You can holocom us at heroes@thehydianway.com.
And if you like what we do and want to support us in shaming Christine, you can do so over at patreon.com/thehydianway, but really don't, because Christine's awesome. Kesh just needs a swift kick in the pants. I would say in the tail, but she is the not awesome lizard person because she does not have a tail.
Ouch!
I love you.
Or you can toss cred to your podcaster at ko-fi.com/thehydianway.
Okay. Sorry, I don't know where this is going to go mechanically, so I might be making a Leslie mistake where I'm going to describe something and then it won't work, but we're going to try this anyway. Sorry, Leslie. Just thinking about
Yeah, shots fired.
So when you fall, will you just be flipping dark side points instead?
Technically, I still flipped light side points. I just then spend the dark side pips, and it's a matter of who's on the PC side.
Pay for the light side?
It's more a matter of at some point does Ben go like do we have the conversation? It's like, yeah, Cash isn't a PC anymore. Which
Yeah, the actual mechanical difference is that while she'd still have to spend light side points to use pips that weren't aligned with her, it's the dark side pips she'd be able to use for free.
Okay.
And it's the light side pips that she would have to flip a point and take strain to use. And there are dark side pips on more sides of the die.
But there's
But you
an
have a
equal
better-
number of dark
Yes,
side,
that's it,
light
there's-
side pips on the die.
Yeah, so
So- Yeah,
light
there's
side
more
you're less
light
likely to
side
get any, but if you
together.
do get some, you're more likely to get two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does Skip think that once somebody takes their clothes off, they're done with the clothes forever?
I mean, we don't know how long
So
Skip's been
that's
wearing
where those robes went.
Skip is a hermit, okay? I will do what needs to be done to survive, and Skip hasn't changed clothes in a while, so you know what?
We might have to have a conversation about refresher
I mean,
use.
only Lando changes clothes in the Star Wars universe. Like, that's canon, basically.
Hey, Leia has
And
multiple
Leia
outfits.
has many excellent outfits.
And hello, Padme.
Yes,
Okay,
Yeah.
only royalty and Lando change clothes.
So only
That's
royalty
it.
and high
All right,
level
next
gamblers.
character is going to be a princess.
Yes.
Lots and lots of wardrobe changes. Let's do it.
Are you going to be a battle princess?
I don't know. I'm just making this up.
Look.